and she realized herself, I don't know. Then Matthias already, he'd already finished with it. He'd already about her.
The class has not started yet.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Can anyone hear me? Good afternoon.
Yes, you
Good
can
afternoon.
hear
Good afternoon. We can hear you loud and
Good
clear.
afternoon.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. It's good to have you. Thanks for coming. All right. So, my name is Micah Timilei, and hello. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
We can hear you.
All right. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Good to have you here. My name is Micah Timilei, and this afternoon, I'm going to be taking you through. I'm going to be your anchor, right? I'm going to be your moderator. And one thing I can tell you for a fact is that you're in for a great time, like super great time. For the first day, we're going to be looking at. I'm going to be talking about careers in tech. I see a message in the chat. Is it true for everybody? No voice or volume. Can anyone hear me? If you can hear me, please confirm. Is it the same
I
for
can hear
everybody?
you.
Awesome.
No, not the same.
All right. So, because I just saw someone that said they couldn't hear
Let's
me.
mute our mics. Can everybody mute their mic?
All right, awesome. Thank you everyone for muting your microphones. Thank you everyone for muting. Thank you for doing that, right? That is going to help us like really learn, So like I was saying earlier, right? You're in for a good time, and basically you're going to today we're talking about careers. Tomorrow we're talking about starting the tech business. Those tech bros and all those people that you see that you envy now. So you'll be looking at how you also can get into that field. I mean, tech is a field that everybody wants to go. I've seen some people cashing out here and there. You don't want to cash out. So that is like let's say a summary of let's say the things that we're going to be talking about. Basically, that's like going to be like a summary of everything. But it's much more than that, and we have so much in stock for you. So before we go ahead, let me know. In the chat section, let me know where you're joining from. Just say your first name and where you're joining from. For example, I'm Micah and I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria. Let's know in the chat section quickly where you're joining from. Where are you joining from?
Joining from Nigeria.
No. Just type in the chat section. You don't need to talk. You don't need to. If everybody starts talking, it's going to be rowdy. Okay. So let's just type. Type. Let me see. Is somebody typing? Just type in the chat section. Let's know where you're joining from. Where are you joining from? Awesome. Michael Olumide from Nigeria. Taiwo from Enugu. Polika from Bauchi. Awesome. Welcome from Ilorin, from Port Harcourt. Welcome. It's good to have you guys. Okay, I can see from Ikoyi. Welcome, guys. From Ethiopia, from Sierra Leone. Wow, awesome. Welcome, guys. From Kaduna. Welcome. Good to have you guys. Good to have you all. Welcome, guys. Welcome. From Lagos, Nigeria. Awesome. From Benin. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So let's keep that going. Let's keep that coming. Let me know where you're joining from. Let me know. Okay, let that keep coming in. Just let us know where you're joining from. Let's know where you're joining from. All right. So before we continue here, while introductions are going on, let me know if you. So I want to give like one or two people just chance to talk, just an opportunity to talk. Tell me, what's your biggest question about getting into a tech career? Like, you've been hearing, I'm sure you heard Paystack, you heard Flutterwave, it's money, so you want to eat that kind of money, you want to be able to say that there's money on ground, that kind of thing. So let me know, if you have a question, if you want to say, okay, this is the confusion that you have towards starting a business in tech, or getting a tech job, or you have an idea that is just really building your mind, just let me know. If you want to talk, can you just in the chat box or raise your hand? Let's see. Does anybody want to talk? You can raise your hand. If you have a question, just use the raise your hand feature on Zoom to indicate. Who is that person? Are you trying to talk?
No, I'm not hearing you. So that's why I want to talk. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, but can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes.
Oh, awesome.
I can hear you now.
Awesome. Awesome. That's very good. That's very good. So I was asking if anybody, maybe you've had a question, you've had a challenge, you wanted to get into a tech field. What has been your challenge? Like you've tried to get into technology, you tried to get a job, but it seems like nothing is working. So what has been that challenge for you? What has been that challenge for you? Anybody want to talk? It will actually really help us to, try to narrow down this program to see how we can help you. Anybody wants to ask? Anybody? Okay, Femi Shegun, your hand is raised. Okay, you can go ahead. You can unmute your microphone and go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Micah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
What I would really like to know is that, tech now revolve around almost every profession, in which if you're able to just get one out of thousands of fields you can venture into, you can actually make it. But the problem now is, how can one know the aspect that I can just focus on? I could remember when they introduced us to different platforms, you'll be interested. You maybe
absolutely. That's right.
Another one, you abandon it, load it, good. So now for someone want to go far in tech, I don't know, the advice that can be given in order not to miss focus or lose focus on what he planned. Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, I share your I share
Hello?
your yeah, I can hear you. I heard you from Michelle. Thank you very much. I mean, that was a very, very, very brilliant question, because a lot of people are stuck in the place of, okay, this tech thing, let me try it too, especially when you're in Nigeria, this tech is a booming field. They are hearing that tech is the new gold. You want to do tech. You're hearing of data science, you're hearing of programming, you're hearing of web design, you're hearing graphic design, you're hearing digital marketing. You don't even know they want to do, So it is, let's say, so I will try to take an attempt to answer your question, but in the course of this 2-day program, like, you're going to be getting full load. I mean, we're here for you, seriously. You're going to be getting people that have actually started careers in tech, people that are running businesses in tech, and they're not just running business, they're running successful businesses in tech. All right, people that have viable careers in technology, people that are doing great stuff, So the attempt I'll take to answer your question is, you need to find your own niche. You can't do everything. Okay, there is programming, like there is software development, there is data. Data is one big field on its own. There is artificial intelligence, there is digital marketing, there is web development, web design. The attempt I would take at answering your question would be, it will be, find your own niche. Like, you need to pick one of those fields and learn it out. There's no field. Is it fashion? Is it baking? I mean, fields outside of technology. The same principle. There is is it Malcolm Gladwell that gave that rule of, you have to practice anything you practice for up to 10,000 hours, you become a master at. You get to that point where you have just practiced and practiced and practiced, and you are very good at it. Like, you can, if it is how to pour sand from one container to the other container, and you have been doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. When you practice it for so long, you're going to a point where when they wake you up from sleep like this, Femi, come and pour this thing. Do you know how to pour sand? You even close your eyes and be pouring it. Like, it's as simple as that. So pick your niche, pick your own niche, and work it out. Do you understand? Did I try? Did I try to answer your question? Did I give you some perspective?
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you. I'm glad I was able to do that. Kehinde, you can't hear anything. Okay, try to connect. So there's actually a YouTube link in case you are not, maybe you have an issue with Zoom or something like that. This program is actually currently live streamed via Zoom. So via YouTube. So you can just head over to Zoom to join the program also. I'm going to share the link now. All right, so I just dropped a link on Zoom, on the chat, so you can check there if you're having any issues or challenge with using Zoom at all. Okay, so I think some people just joined us. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Micah. All right, and I'm that kind of person that you call techie. I love technology. I'm a tech enthusiast. I try to learn as much as possible as I can in different fields of technology, but I have my needs. I have that I love outside of everything that technology entails. Outside of everything that technology entails, because I just know myself. All right, and sort of bring that information close to you. That information, that the issue of there's so much opportunities in the tech field that explode. Started from young boys. I'm sure that there are people here that a young adult. Let's say an adult. You heard of those people. You saw those people. So if those young people can do it, you can also do it. Like with all your experiences, you can do it, and even do much more than that. Like tech is like a field that you have not even scratched. It's like that field that let's just be taking it little by little. Let's just be taking it little by little. It has so many opportunities that you really cannot you cannot exhaust the opportunities in tech, like literally. So does any other person want to give us a question, not from the program, generally, let me know your expectations. Hello, anybody wants to talk? Anybody? Anybody wants to talk? Hello. So, okay, awesome. Harold, so this is the way we do it here. You can go ahead. Harold, ask a question. You can go ahead. Your mic.
Hello.
Harold.
Can you hear me?
And tell us where you're joining from.
I'm joining from Benin. And
from Benin, Nigeria, or Benin Republic?
Benin Republic. From
Benin Republic. Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I have a question to ask you about the tech field and jobs.
Okay, you
And
can go ahead.
I'm actually learning. I'm actually learning programming. I'm in web development field in this.
You're in web
tech
development field also. Awesome.
Yeah, and I want to know how to get started in freelancing and how to get started on jobs or projects. I'm actually practicing. I'm actually working on some project. I'm not very professional, and I want to prove my skills and sort of thing like that. So I want to know after, if I did it, after doing it, how can I get started in freelancing in the tech field with my skills, with the web development skills? That's my question. Yeah.
Awesome. So you know what? Yeah. I mean, I even like the fact that you're already in tech. You are doing something in technology. You are developing website, which is a very, very viable field with a lot of opportunities. So
yeah,
you're already set for success. Right now, your question is like you want to know how to get into the freelancing world, right?
yeah.
Did I get you correctly?
Yeah.
Awesome. So now I'm also going to try to attempt to answer your question. Although we have people that are seasoned, people that practice these things on a daily. I told you earlier, I'm a tech person myself, and I freelance. You see, so we have people today and tomorrow that will let you know I use this English now, in, the details about the opportunities that you have in freelancing. So I'm going to try to answer your question this way. Now,
okay.
Freelancing is basically you're selling to the world. Your skill is a skill that you can sell to. You're sort of like you're able to sell to anybody, Nigeria, Benin, South Africa, UK, Canada. So what you're looking at now, what I'll say you should start from first is own your skill. Like you said, you're still learning and you're not very great in it yet. Develop your skills so well that people want to refer you. Now, there is a freelancing part where you get jobs online, where you get jobs on freelancing platforms. There is let me just stop at that, because we have people that will come to speak to this, like they will come to speak to it. And I can tell you, one thing I can tell you is that you're going to be, at the end of this 2-day program, you really are going to feel ready to get into the tech field. Okay, so just before I introduce the founder of NerdzFactory and co-tutor, I just want to put this out there that this program we're in partnership with Oracle. Oracle is supporting us to bring this program to you. Okay, so you can just appreciate Oracle in any way that you can. All right. So without further ado, I want to bring on the founder of NerdzFactory. Let me say, it is somebody's vision that could, let you say that, okay, what concerns a regular person about how to let you get into the tech field, but this is somebody that is interested in how people will get into the tech field and also make money, create prosperity for yourself, right? So I'm going to bring in Mr. Ade Oluwasefunmi, all right? He's the founder of NerdzFactory. And I want you all to give a virtual applause. You can unmute your mic and clap if you will. So let's welcome Mr. Ade Oluwasefunmi. Mr. Ade, can you hear us? Are you there?
Okay. Thank you so much, Timile. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. Good day from Lagos. It's afternoon here in Lagos, Nigeria. Good afternoon to everyone joining us. To those joining us on Zoom, A beautiful afternoon to you from the city of Lagos. To those joining us on YouTube Live, YouTube stream, and whenever it is that you would watch it. It's a great day from the city of Lagos. And I'm really excited doing this here today. So the technology career Launchpad program. So when you hear the word technology career Launchpad program, what exactly comes to mind? Hello everyone. Hello Mary. Hello Anaka. Hello Femi. Hello Michael. So does someone want to just tell me what exactly comes to mind? One person wants to try. Okay. So okay, let me. So for us, right? YouTube Live, you can drop your comment. So for us, over the last 3 years, we've seen a lot of advocacy around technology. We've seen a lot of opportunities that brought upon us a great form of digital acceleration. So in the adoption of digital technology and in the adoption of technology as a whole. And what did this do for young people? Basically, what this did is that organizations that ordinarily they would not like to embrace technology, organizations ordinarily that don't even believe in technology, they were forced to embrace technology as a tool of getting things done, as a tool, as a means to reach their customers, as a means to achieve efficiency, as a tool to become more profitable. So you know what that did? That created a whole lot of opportunity for young people across the world. So you can't be here. I'm here now in Lagos. I can communicate with you wherever it is that you are because there's a technology called Zoom. I'm here in Lagos. I can apply to an access from every single part of the world that is actively connected to the internet. So you would find roles that previously didn't have a lot of opportunities. Now there are a whole lot of opportunities for them. So you hear roles like cloud solutions architect. You hear roles like machine learning specialist, data science specialist. You would see roles like cloud specialist. All of this comes with a huge deal of opportunities. And, you know, according to the World Economic Forum and to the LinkedIn jobs report, so seven of the most in demand, seven of the biggest companies in the world are actually technology-driven businesses. Isn't that amazing? It tells you that gone the era of having a very huge factory, become a multi-millionaire, or before you can have a thriving business is totally past. Now you can sit in the comfort of your room and create magic. You can sit in the comfort of your garage, in your classroom, in your hostel, or whatever it is that you do and create magic. So in this program, you would hear the career opportunities, especially today. Shortly, there's going to be a panel session, and in that panel session, we have a team of experts, both in technology and also in technology business support, that would come and tell us what are the opportunities if I want to get started in technology. What should I be doing? If I have started in technology and I'm not growing, I'm not seeing opportunities, how exactly should I be going about it? Such that at the end of the day, I can have access to these opportunities that everyone is talking about. So for us, that was why we set up this program. We saw that a lot of young people wanted to get started in technology and they overcomplicate things. And there seems to be a lot of ambiguity. They are not sure where to get started. They are not sure which skill to learn. Some think everybody needs to learn how to code. Some are not. So there's just a lot of guesswork. And you know, when you're working with guesswork, when you're not sure, when you don't have fact, you don't have data, you cannot guarantee your results. So that's exactly why we came up with this initiative. And interestingly for us, we found a very supportive partner in Oracle, and they believed in this project, and they did not just believe in it, they put their weight behind this project in ensuring that this comes to life. So very shortly, we're going to also be listening to our keynote speaker, who is the country programs manager for Oracle Academy across sub-Saharan Africa, hundreds, thousands of young people, both across the continent, both in Nigeria and across the African continent, in ensuring that young people have access to skills, have access to technology, and she would be sharing with us very, very shortly on how exactly it is that you can access these opportunities. So the question, what opportunities are there for me in technology? So if you're asking that particular question right now, a very good place to even start is by doing a simple Google search that technology jobs around me. Just type your city. So a good way to start, type technology jobs in Lagos, technology jobs in Dar es Salaam, technology jobs in Accra, technology jobs in Bangalore. Basically, what that does to you is that it shows you the job opportunities and the economic opportunities that are. You know, we can be talking about the fact that there are opportunities in India, there are opportunities in the US or in Canada. That seems really far away from you, right? But why?
All right. I think Mr. D's network had an issue. It's going to reconnect very shortly. Let me confirm if you can hear me. Let me confirm if you can hear me. Hello, can
Yes,
anybody
we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to confirm that you could hear me. So Mr. D, I mean, in line with what he was saying, so many opportunities, right? So many opportunities. Limitless, countless, like, I don't know. But the Tech Career Launchpad, it is just like the name, it is a launch pad for you, you know. You'll be meeting people that will be telling you things around their experiences. So from their experiences, you will get insights to what they did to be where they are. Like I said earlier, this program is supported by Oracle, right? It's supported by Oracle. And what that means is, so we're going to be having a top official from Oracle. She's going to come in to speak to us this afternoon. And I mean, today, right? I don't know, because we have different people with different time zones. So we're going to be having her, I mean, so you can, meaning that you can ask her questions about how did she start from, what was her journey like, what was her story like. You have other people, you have people that have started tech careers. I mean, we even have a panel that have someone that just started. Okay, I think Mr. Day is back.
Okay, sorry about that. I lost connection all of a sudden, and sorry about that. I'm back now. So anytime from now, we would have Shifumi Durojaye, the country program manager for Oracle across Sub-Saharan Africa, joining and to make a keynote. So I was talking about some people think they need to be able to code, they need to be a software developer to be able to access opportunities in technology, but that's not true. And we mentioned that a good way is to find out opportunities that are available around you from country to country, from location to location. The opportunity varies. You know, like I was telling someone in my office this afternoon that the number of people that reach out these days just to ask for things like graphic design, product managers, social media managers, and internet marketers is crazy. There are a whole lot of those kind of people that are always asking for those particular opportunities. So across, I would encourage you, put down your questions, take note of all of the questions that you have. It's not supposed to be a one-way, it's not supposed to be a monologue. It's supposed to be a dialogue where you also ask your bugging questions about the things that are on your mind and how you can get started in your technology career. So I will be back shortly for the panel session. But right about now, we have a keynote speaker for today, and she's coming from our sponsor organization, from Oracle, and she would be sharing with us basically the opportunities in technology and how Oracle, the work that Oracle is doing in that space. So if I were you, I'm going to sit back, relax, pick up my note and my pen, and take note of everything that she says, including the empowerment programs that Oracle is offering to people within your country or countries around you. So I would like to invite Oluwasefunmi Fadahun, the country manager of Oracle Academy across Sub-Saharan Africa. Hi, Shefumi, it's great to have you here this afternoon.
Hi, Ade. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Sorry, I cannot come to my video because my bandwidth is low, and I most likely will be leaving and coming out of it if I let my video on. So apologies for that. I would try to make sure that the video is not an hindrance. My picture is a very recent picture, so we can also rely on that. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so in line with what Adi had said, we're happy to partner with this organization for this. It's important for us to understand that the ecosystem also includes students and not necessarily those that have defined their developer pathways yet, but the ecosystem revolves around graduates and graduates. And it's important that we continue to engage in this light. I work for Oracle, as Adi has said, Oracle Academy to be precise. The Academy is a philanthropy program for Oracle. It's actually its first flagship philanthropy program. And our focus is on computer science education advancement. What that means for us is focusing on the education aspect, the teaching and learning aspect of computer science. We want to be able to support the process of it. And we then work with universities, secondary schools, teachers, and students across board. Our goal is to leverage on the technologies that Oracle sell and make it available in a pedagogical form to these educational institutes and its teachers and students. That way, they can be in tune with what's going on at the industry at every relevant time. The curriculum they are teaching is relevant. They also have access to Oracle resources and technologies to be able to prepare themselves. So you don't graduate learning version 3 of a software that is currently in version 19 or 20. We make our most recent technologies available in that light. That is what we do at Oracle Academy. We are in Sub-Saharan Africa and across EMEA and worldwide, and we've worked across different countries and schools. And from time to time, our work is different. Sometimes it's boot camps, it's teacher training, it's career conversation, it's knowledge transfer sessions, and our resources that are popularly known around Java and database is what we support these places with. We also go beyond that. We do Primavera, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the likes, even application development, just to ensure that, where Oracle is concerned, we are also supporting the ecosystem so that when they graduate, they find their place on time outside of the world. Now, just before I progress, I would just like to ask a question, and please use your chat box to engage. So, what would be the first career that comes to your mind when you hear career in IT? Can you please type? If we get, how many people are here? Okay, if we get 10 responses, we'll move on. What career comes to your mind when you hear, okay, programming, I'll be reading it out. Programming, data science, web designer, that's 3. 7 more. Web design, okay. So we have programming, data science, web design, that's 4. Software, 5. Blockchain, 6. Programming, 7. Graphics, 8. Software, web design, 9. Okay, all right. So all of these career paths are very valid. That's the honest truth. Happy to hear that, we include web design and graphic design. I'm really excited that, Ibrahim included graphic design as a career path because programming, data science are almost like the lingua, software development. Blockchain is quite interesting too. They are the most current lingua when it comes to career in IT. A lot of people still do not understand how graphics is a career in IT. It is, especially now that graphics has developed into UI UX, which is user experience and design. So it was important to ask that question for me so that I know where we are. Usually I remember when I graduated from school, I think outside being a doctor, a lawyer, an architect, or an engineer, the most popular and famous job was HR. And a lot of people went to HR just because it sounded different than the typical professions that we heard about. I come from a different background. I come from law and linguistics background, and I ended up in an IT world. And I'll tell you that not one of you mentioned what I do. Yet, I'm a woman in technology, digital marketing, yes. So this is the way I would explain it to you so that you can understand how to fit without necessarily mentioning names. I'll explain it in a way, and then I'll use Oracle as an example. So we all know that the body is made up of different parts. And you can't say the head is more important because it houses the brain. And you can't say the knee is more important because it joins your legs and you can't walk without it. Or you say the hand is more important, or you say the back is more important because you need to be able to stand upright as a whatever mammal or animal category we fall into. So everyone has his own part to play, and it is when that part comes together that you become a moving being. That's the way technology also is. There are different things that make you work. So I'll use Oracle for example, and I'm doing this so that you can have an insight. The thing Ade said is very, very valid. You Google and say what career jobs are in Lagos, are in Akure, and in Nigeria as a whole, and then you start taking it up. So at Oracle, there are different kinds of roles. Of course, there'll be developers, there will be coders, programmers. There are the guys, of course, Java for us. They are the hardware people. They are the database support, because we are big on databases. We have cloud architects. Now, let me explain what cloud architects are. And we have tech architects. So cloud architects are the ones that develop the framework of what that cloud automation is going to do for whatever service you want to do for it. They don't necessarily program. They don't necessarily have a white paper that they draw with pencil and C-curve and all those technical drawing things. No. It's mapping a solution, mapping how a middleware will interact with an hardware to ensure that you have this process. And once that is mapped and that process flow seems realistic, then we can customize our available technology software applications to perform that result for the client. Same applies to those that are architects in the tech world. So you hear architect and you're thinking, are they the architects for drawing? No, you have to plan. So architects in technology means planning. You can't just say, oh, we need a software to do employee management, HR. There are so many HR tools and HR software, but I can tell you, and that if I deploy the same HR in company A and I deploy it in company B, the intricacies of company A is what is going to model what that HR will look like. So for example, if in company A, there's not, all of them are contract staff, all of them there's no leave allowance or stuff. And then the company B, there has to be leave, the days of leave has to calculate at the end of every month so that every staff knows what they have. If you want to get a letter to travel, you have to come through the portal to get a letter. The configuration is totally going to be different from that. And there are people who have to map and design it first before you then say you actually do that. Now, there are people that after you then map and design, they have to program it and run a demo to be sure it's going to define or do what you want it to do. And then there are people who maintain. Those are the ones that usually they're always on site. Like, I'm sure you will have some IT guys that are always on site. Like sometimes they do night shift and all of that. Luckily for automation, a lot of things are being automated. So you hardly need anybody sleeping overnight on the site or something like that. Yes. Or sometimes you might just need a first level support person to stay during those night shifts, so that, because a lot of things are automated. So first level support can handle quick emergencies before it escalates and somebody has to take it up. Okay, there are also people who, for every technology, I need to understand that technology is intellectual property. Is highly vested on intellectual property. A lot of things that we say in technology are not quantifiable, other than your hardwares, your phones, your data warehouses, and the likes. A lot of these things, cloud. It was so hard to define cloud for a lot of people, because you're like, what are you guys saying now? Cloud, how? It's in the sky. Tell me where it is. So a lot of things that we sell in technology or that we use in technology are intellectual property driven. So there is usually the team that manages the process of transfer of intellectual property from a client to a client. So there's something called channel management in most technology companies. Channel management, you may not necessarily need the knowledge of technology, but you need to be able to manage stakeholders. And they're usually the ones that manage, okay, company A wants to buy from company B, and company B has to then look for another company to implement the project. They just sell the software. So, okay, the project management of the process. And at that point, let me lie to you, there's no role that I will mention here today that you will not require the knowledge of technology to deliver on it. Whether you are channels, whether you're a project manager, whether you sell, whether you are into deals and legal. Because everything about technology, one little line about a particular software that is not captured can cause the whole process to go wrong. So you begin to understand, of course, there are the administrative role and operations role, marketing and all of that. That's left, that anybody can come into that role and learn IT on the job. Now, for me, what do I do at Oracle? I'm a program manager. However, because what I do is tied into what Oracle produces and how we want to invest and build capacity. I couldn't just go to the field, go to a school, deliver a presentation, tell you Oracle has this offer for you. And then the student asks me, oh, sorry, at what level should I start learning how to connect my database to my application. And I will say, oh, sorry, I'm just a program manager. No. So I'm hired at Oracle to make sure that the program which I'm hired for circulates across different places. People are using it, and we can track impact. That means that for me to go to a school and advise, use our curriculum, I need to be able to advise the school back to say, this is how you should use my curriculum. This is the benefit of using the curriculum. This is the career that awaits your students. I remember that I even had to learn how to code because I was working with summer camps, and we were teaching them coding at secondary school level. And sometimes I go with my tech guys to be the instructors. But at times we are short-staffed or somebody's late, I had to learn it myself so that I can talk about it. Or I want to demo something for a bunch of students who says, oh, we want to learn Oracle application development. How does it work? I can't just say, oh, download the document. At that point, I'm there. So I had to start learning. And in learning it, I was able to actually advise any of my stakeholders that this is when you should use it. And I don't just dump resources on your table and not guide it. And no, this is too early for year one. Teach this course in year two. Start with this course in year one, and then you let the students grow into this in year two. Having said that, there's the graphics part, there is the design part, but let me just give you a scenario. Career in technology basically means that using technology to enhance a process. Technology cannot live by itself. It cannot live its own form. You would have heard of people who build applications and software or solutions for air care and beauty, transportation, and the people could not use this solution. So you are a programmer. You sit on your own laptop, code, go to the interface, develop an application, say it's for the people in fashion. The people in fashion get and like, this thing is hectic for us. That's because you didn't apply the knowledge of the field to what you were building. So technology itself cannot breathe life into itself if it is not aiding or enhancing a process. Now, if you see it that way, then you understand that career in technology is limitless. That means if there is something I want to do with it in fashion, and maybe I'm thinking e-commerce, so I'm thinking of logistics or delivery. If it's transportation, maybe booking flight easy, paying for flight easy, cancellation, whatever. If it's for what's it called, banking system, there are lots of things that banking, they need to save data. The data needs to interact with them. You start talking about data science, you start talking about machine learning and artificial intelligence. The data needs to interact with itself and automatically suggest these solutions. You start talking about those from data mapping, data mining. You start going. So it is when you understand that I need technology to move something. So for example, you can't do graphic design without the use of technology because there are softwares you have to download to make those visuals come to life. Even engineering students have had to realize that engineering is not just putting one metal plus one fabric and synthetic and metal together, bolt it and not and say you are doing engineering. A lot of the things that make those things move is something that has been coded and put either Raspberry Pi or Black Box or whatever it is they call it that makes those things interact in the human face. So when you understand technology that way, you can then begin to say, whatever sector I find myself, these people need technology. So you find yourself in a telco company and you are expecting that the IT department is the one that should run it. But they're telling you, oh, HR guys, we need to, what's it called? They are coming to install a software for us to help us manage all our processes. And you find yourself like, okay, we're using paper before. How does it happen? So whoever is on the side of technology must need to have built that software to be able to capture all of the things that they want to do. And that's why you hear that when you buy a template, some templates are editable, some templates are not editable. Let me just build my template from the scratch. So those are that for me. That's how I like to advise people when they think of career in technology. The big names, the common names may fool you. Opportunities are coming here and there. Now, product design is different from product management. However, there is a whole new line in products that is suddenly more technology inclined than before. And a lot of companies are building technology, software applications, web-based and all of that now, that they are investing in the product design. Because if you don't invest in your product design, you build it, 2 users down the line, everybody's complaining, I can't do this with it, this app is not working, I have to go through 12 steps to get to the use. Oh no, we don't want to use it, the testing phase, all of that. So if you are streamlined to be, I want to be a this, you will lose opportunity on so many new things that are coming in the technology space. So I would advise that, however, there are some skills that you will need to get. If you know that you'll be more at the back end, you will need programming skills, you will need design thinking skills and all of that skills. If you are more on the front end, you can learn application development, data science. So there are lots of things that you then define that I want to learn. For people that come from computer science background or engineering, that is a good starter pack for them, because they can as well switch and move around. If they are not rigid in their own thoughts, they can move around for these careers. When they identify, oh wow, there's this new sector and I'm thinking technology will be good for them, let me see how I can plug into it. And then you start defining it, right? So the knowledge that they teach in school is like basics for anybody, so that when you want to pick and choose, you have your background set and you can then pick and choose. But for me, I would say there is no limits to the career in technology, because there are problems coming up every day. There are currently existing problems. We've not solved a lot of things. We've not solved a lot of facial recognition tools that are easy and quick to move around. Not that after you built it, it has to be in one office because you cannot move it around. Do you understand? So for me, that's the way I would come from the angle of, and what we at Oracle Academy then do is to support. So we have a new technology at Oracle, we turn it into a curriculum and make it available for schools. We don't have a curriculum, we make sure that there's a webinar about it, a masterclass about it, a boot camp about it. That's how we then support at Oracle Academy. To learn more about what Oracle Academy does, you can visit academy.oracle.com. I'll type it in the chat, and you can pick information from there. But if you want to really learn, there are so many other resources that Oracle has. We have Oracle Developers Gym, we have Oracle Ibex, and all of these things are free for you to learn. So you can just go to oracle.com, spend quite a number of time there, and you see Oracle Developers Gym, you see Oracle Apex. There are quite a number of free resources that, people that are getting into the world can use to practice and learn. Well, yeah. Thank you so much. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Ade. Ade, you're on mute in case you are talking.
Oluwasefunmi, yeah, I've been trying to. Thank you. Yes, you really did justice. Yes, I've been trying to talk and I've been trying to mute myself. You really did justice to the questions, more than the questions that some people had already indicated earlier. And thank you for going that deep, for making it very simple and very relatable for everyone to understand and to see how exactly they can get into these careers and into these opportunities. And again, a big thank you to your team at Oracle for also supporting us and for bringing this particular program to life. So thank you once again, Shefumi. We will be moving very, very shortly. Shefumi will also still be joining the panel session. So for those of you that have a lot of questions, and in addition to some of the questions that we've received, yes, so we've received a couple of questions from some of you. We'll be moving shortly to the panel session now. If you have a question, just take note of it and type it into the chat box, and we would definitely attend to the question. So just in case you're thinking that if you don't know how to code, or if you're not a software developer, or you're not your job role is not one big buzzword, deep learning, machine learning, data science, that you're not sure that you're in technology, I really believe that Shefumi has provided some very, very clear answers to your question. So you can, if you have other questions, you can keep the questions rolling into in the chat box. Yes. So my panelists, I'm beginning to see my panelists join now. By 2:05 on dots, let's just give let's wait for about 5 more minutes. Our panelists would be coming up. I will be introducing our panelists. But pending when we wait for our panelists to come on board, like today in a presentation for a particular group of people, and I was sharing with them how the world has become very, very dynamic and how things have changed. So Shefumi mentioned product management. So are you aware that you don't even need, there are some of these courses that are not even studied in a traditional university, in a traditional school. But all you need to get started is understand what it is, get the skill, and by just being able to solve the problem around that particular field, it qualifies you for opportunities in so many cases. So you might be here thinking that, oh, you did not study computer science, you did not study computer engineering, or you did not study cybersecurity. How exactly you didn't study systems engineering? How exactly do you want to get started? So I'll share my own story, how I got into technology. So I've always heard about the idea of technology, computers, but I never really took it serious and I never really saw it as a big deal. So as a matter of fact, in school, I remember in undergrad, I had deliberately, so it was mandatory for everybody to take a particular computer science class, but except for my department. So I studied mining engineering. I have a background in mining engineering. And I went to University of Technology. So everybody had to take Fortran 90. Everybody had to take another course in computer science. So somebody is asking, why is my video muted? Well, I muted the video because of the connectivity issue. I took off the video because of connectivity. But again, let me take it on briefly. If connectivity becomes an issue again, then sorry, I have to take it off. So like I was saying, so I was one of the very few people in my school that escaped not taking any computer science course, either as an elective or as a core course. I didn't take it. So, of course, by the time I graduated, technology was beginning to come into the frame, was beginning to become a big thing in Nigeria. You ask people, what are you doing? And they'll say, I'm into programming. I want to start a tech company, or I'm working in a technology company. So, but for me, I've always been passionate about people, about careers, and about helping solve the problem of unemployment. So for me, it started as a conversation. So the very first time I saw that, okay, there might be an opportunity for me was when at that time, organization, we partnered with Microsoft to deliver something, to deliver a particular program. And for the first time, I saw that, okay, it's not everybody that works at Microsoft that is a coder, that is building cloud, that is building. There are other people that are also doing this, that are working in these companies that are not your core technology, like core programmer, core developers. And I think, yeah, that opened my eyes. And the very first place I applied to that after I saw that opportunity was Microsoft in Egypt. I applied to Microsoft Egypt for a role as a community affairs manager. And I didn't get that particular opportunity. But I took interest in technology, started learning more about technology, learned a bit more, built my first mobile app, built the second mobile app. So I was interested in jobs and education. So I built a mobile app to help people find jobs. I built a mobile app to help people get scholarships. So all of that, those activities were adding up. 1 year down the line, I found the same opportunity that I got turned down for in Microsoft in Egypt, in Microsoft in Lagos. And I applied and I got that particular opportunity. And for me, that was a life changer. It was a game-changing opportunity. And by the time I got into a technology company, I saw how much people in technology-related roles or people who were running technology-related businesses, how much they were earning. For me, I wouldn't lie. The money was a very interesting thing. So the money was one of the very first things that didn't interest me. And for me, game changer, what like the young guy Nigeria will tell you, what killed me was a junior colleague of mine in the university. I met him and he was earning like ×5 of what I was earning at that particular time, because he has always been interested in technology and he had built enough solutions, he had solved enough problems in technology. So for me, I just knew that whatever it is I would do has to be technology inclined and has to be technology related without necessarily being a developer or a coder. So yes, right about now, I would like to introduce our panelists. And we have a very, very interesting lineup of panelists today, from people who just got into technology to people who had always been experienced in technology. So the very first person I would like, you met Shefunmi, so I would like to invite, I'd like to introduce, to bring again to this panel, Shefunmi Durojaye, the country program manager for Oracle Oracle Academy across sub-Saharan Africa. Shefunmi, it's nice to have you again on this panel. Thank you for waiting to join the panel.
Welcome.
Okay. Okay. The very next person I would be introducing for gender balance. His name is Oluwasefunmi Fadahun, and Oluwasefunmi Fadahun also, he started out as in human resource and in recruitment, and he will share more about his experience. And from there, moved into recruiting for the Bank of America and some other top investment banks across the world. And eventually, he started a human resource company that is specifically targeted towards providing solutions for technology startups. Oluwasefunmi Fadahun, the CEO of Warding Human Capital Development. It's great to have you here. Okay, while we wait for Oluwasefunmi to come up and sort out connectivity issues, I would like to introduce the next person. The next person that I would like to introduce to this panel is, she currently works in Siemens Energy in the technology and the strategy team. And she is very, very experienced. She's worked in advisory in the technology advisory company at Accenture, one of the biggest technology advisory companies in the world. And she's also worked in the bank. So she has this very, very robust experience. Temitayo Fayomi, it's great to have you here on the panel today.
You're welcome, ma.
Yeah, then we have the very last person, but not the least person, that I would be introducing on the panel today is Anaka Gabriel. Anaka Gabriel, interestingly, went through one of our programs. We have a program called the Design School program, and she was one of the outstanding participants in that particular program. And by the time she finished that particular program, she did not just come out as one of the top participants. She is also she got a job in the telecom sector. So she's currently an enterprise account manager, and she would also be sharing her experience with us this afternoon. Anaka Gabriel, you're welcome. It seems she's muted. Hi, Anaka, can you hear me? Okay, is Temitayo Fayemi, is she on now? Tayo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Toluwase Olaniyan.
Yes, sir.
Toluwase. Oh,
Yes,
fantastic.
sir.
Oh, it's great to have you. Yes, so yes, I did introduce both of you earlier. I'm not sure if you heard me at that time. But my very first question would go to, so we have quite a number of questions that we got from some of the participants. And you get a lot of these questions, and I don't know where to get started from. I don't know where to start. I want to work in technology, and I don't know where to start. So my very first question will go to Temitayo Fayemi. How exactly did you get started in your career? How did you get your first opportunity?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Now, I have to ask you a question. What do you mean career? Do you mean my career in technology or my career in general?
Okay, so it would be great if we can understand your career in general, and then you can narrow down to your career in technology.
Okay. So I mean, after graduating school, I came back to Nigeria, and I did my NYSC like everybody else. And I was I think the one thing that I knew, I definitely knew that I wanted to work in the banking sector for reasons that were best known to me then. So I just applied, to be honest. And the banking sector was doing very well at that time. And so I got quite a lot of interviews, quite a lot of offers, but I decided to go with Citibank because it was an international company, and I'm definitely still open to, career opportunities that would take me around the world. And I also remember, my father telling me that, oh, why would you want to go and work with the Zenith Bank or Intercontinental Bank or whatever bank it was at that time? Because you wouldn't want a situation whereby somebody would look at your CV and say, sorry, what is that? So, so that was what drove me to working in the banking sector. So I did that for 2.5 years. It was in operations. I didn't enjoy it. It was too monotonous. And I decided that I wanted to do something different. So I went and I got my MBA, focused it on management consulting. And when I came back again to Nigeria, I decided to work in management consulting. So I got a job with Accenture. So I did that for a while, for about 6.5 years. And then I wanted to leave consulting because I was about to make manager then, but I didn't want to be a manager in a consulting firm because that requires you to be responsible for bringing in projects, etc. And that's not what my skills are best suited to do. So I left Accenture with hopes that I could get into FMCG, but I didn't. But I did get a job offer with Siemens, and for me, I felt that it was close enough because they're an engineering company, so they're into manufacturing. And I think so that's how I kind of fell into technology. It wasn't something that I did consciously. And even at that, with my role within Siemens then, I was a technical assistant to the CEO. So I wouldn't really say it was like a tech role per se, because, Nigeria, Siemens in Nigeria is pretty much like a sales office. So the technology and all of that is decided in headquarters. And then, we just try to sell it to our customers. But we do try and put like strategies around how we do that. So I think when I fell into tech properly was is my new role within Siemens, which is the global strategy manager for our industrial applications division. So what we do is I work under a wider department called Strategy, Technology, and Innovation. And so I work in the strategy aspect of that. So what we do is taking the tech, trying to figure out looking at the market trends, the present and future market trends, and try to figure out where we want to play as an organization, and also trying to predict the market trends that could come up in the next 5, 10, 15 years, and develop solutions that will position us for the future. So yeah, so like, I'm not really sure if I'm the best person to answer that question because I just kind of fell into it. But if I were to advise anybody that wants to get a job in technology, I think the first thing you need to do is to understand who you are, understand what your skill sets are, understand what you are good at doing, and what you are not good at doing, and just trying to tailor your, and just try to position yourself in the industry based on what it is that you can do. Because I understand that, yes, definitely technology is the future, but it's not, everybody isn't a computer scientist or an electrical engineer, and everybody isn't able to code and understand all the technological jargon. Like, I'm not a technical person at all. But regardless of that, there's still certain skills that are required in the technology space that are not technical. So, for example, regardless of how good you are as a technical person, if you do not know how to position yourself in the market or how to position your products in the market, regardless of how good your product is, it's probably not going to do very well. So that's where you have people, you have them marketers, that's where you have strategists come into play to help you position your solution or your products within the market. I hope I was able to answer the question properly.
Thank you very much, Tayo. Yes, you did justice to the question. Thank you very much for the insights. So my next question, Oluwasefunmi, I would like to ask you this question. Hello, Oluwase, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So once again, thank you for joining us this afternoon. So you are a recruiter, you fill roles for a lot of new technology startups. So the question here is, so how exactly do I get my first job in technology?
Okay, so now this is tricky because I was actually excited when Shefumi mentioned that there are no set skill. There are no like perfect lined up skill for getting a job in technology now, right? So don't put yourself in a box and say, oh, I mean, and like you also said, oh, I am not a programmer. I am not a developer. It's tough, right? And also, I mean, following the line of what Tayo had mentioned, how she got into technology or into the technology space is not totally even doing like all of technology stuff, right? So every time I say to people who want to dabble into technology, I say that the first skill you need to build and you need to have is proper problem solving skill. You must have a knack for solving problems, because every point, so technology came to be in the first place because there are problems everywhere, right? So that's the very first thing, right? You must have a strong knack for solving problems, right? And people take this skill for granted. People take this part for granted and say, well, I mean, it's just solving problems. Like, I should be able to wrap my head around it. No. So there are models to solving problems. So that's it. Like first. Because if you are designing you're designing an app, the app is to solve a problem. You need to be able to analyze how you intend this to deliver the right value, right? If you are designing the product, not even the app now, like designing the product, it is problem solving, like basic. Now, the very next one that I say everybody should have is deep critical thinking skill. So it sounds like a cliche, like what you just hear here and there. No, you must be able to think critically to be able to either be a developer or be on the product design part and not doing core technology. You must be able to do like a lot of critical thinking. You must be able to think, what are your clients thinking, right? So if you want to get a job or to land a tech role, right, the two best skill that you should have first, added to your technology skill, if you have, is critical thinking and problem solving. You see, those two skills, they must be, because that's what the employer wants to hear, sitting back here and listening to you while they interview you, or while they look through the codes that you've done before, or while they're looking through your profile. What they want to see is what value you're able to deliver. And the value you're able to deliver is how are you able to solve the problem that we have here, right? I mean, which is like basic for starters, I mean, to start with.
Okay, thank you. Next, before I move to the next person, so I'd like to follow up on that. So thank you. Yes, so I need to have these certain skills that you have mentioned. So I need to be able to solve them. So what if I've developed these skills? How do I get opportunities? Because some people will be asking, they say we should solve problems. I'm already learning to solve problems, solving problems. So how exactly do I now get a job? Like, give me a job, I need a job.
Oh, okay.
So how do I look see the jobs? And how do I get employed with these skills now that I have it?
like we always say, and like one of our, top HR leaders had said, and like, so it's a general fact that getting a job is a job. Getting a job is a job on its own, right? So you must design your plan around how you first even intend to get a job. Understand what kind of job you want to get. And like I say now, leverage technology if you want to get a job. Put yourself out there, right? Always put yourself out there. Now there are more jobs come to people more than people go to jobs now. So even we recruiters are almost getting threatened by a lot of things, right? So first I'll tell you, let me just leave the story. First, I'll tell you, once you have this, if you're a techie, if you're a non-techie, put up something we call a profile, right? Put up something we call a profile. So you have a portfolio where all of the jobs that you've done, all of the things that you've worked on will be archived. So when someone reach out to you and say, can you do this thing? Straight, you send them there. I don't want to hire you, right? And it's when I say, oh, what have you done before? You are now checking and looking through. You send me 5 links to the things you've done. 4 of them are down. You don't even know the website that you had worked on before are out of existence. I would hire you, right? So have those portfolios. Now leverage LinkedIn and all other. See, I say now, put yourself out there. Now, recruiters have a lot of job to do. Recruiters also go to those places where you've put yourself, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those other platforms to go hunt for techies.
Okay,
right?
Thank you very much.
Ensure you put yourself out there.
Thank you. What I hear from that is present yourself properly and then be visible. Let people see you. Let people know what exactly you can do.
Be very
fantastic. Thank you. My next question, Anaka Gabriel. And so Anaka Gabriel, can you hear me? Please, you can unmute yourself. Okay, thank you, Anaka Gabriel. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. So, Anaka Gabriel went through one of our programs, the design school programs that we implemented with the German government last year. And you were at the time when COVID started, you had the setback of being out of job.
Yeah.
And now you work in a telecoms company as an enterprise account manager.
Yeah.
How exactly did you navigate being out of job? How did you cope with the shock and then the whole phase? And how did you now get to that point where eventually opportunities came back, started knocking at your table?
Okay, basically, during the COVID-19, I was overwhelmed because my company had already told everybody to go. I was like, okay, now what next? But luckily for me, I was running a PhD program. So that took my mind off the whole, hey, you don't have a job or you have to start looking for a job and all that. And then while we were doing our PhD and all that, there was now a time when they said schools are going to close also. I was like, okay, so what am I going to be doing at home? The next thing, before, in fact, even before the school closed because of COVID-19, there was strike and all that. So now Nigeria is, I was just going through my phone and then I saw a message on the group chat. I was like, okay, about code tutor, you should come if you want to dive into the tech industry, you should register and all that. So I now registered, I wrote the exam, and funny enough, I didn't expect that I would be called. I now saw email that you have been qualified to join the code tutor school and all that. And we're meant to pick courses that we were going to do. Because I'm an artist, in fact, everybody feels like, oh, what an artist doing in a tech company, what's an artist doing in a telecoms company, what's an artist doing? But in fact, there's no difference between, in fact, before you even talk about tech or art, before you even talk about technology or science, you have to first of all talk about art, because from the beginning of time, an artist has to sketch, let's say, a car or a house, or let's say you want to design a phone. You have to first of all sketch it on paper and then present it before the UI designer will now design it and all that into a real, into how something is going to work before the real engineers now design it into the real phone or the real plane or the real car or whatever it is. So when people ask me, you're an artist, what are you doing in tech? You're an artist. Well, I just laugh because they need to know more. They need to know more. So now back to my journey in the code tutor design school. It was, in fact, it was a very, 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 very challenging time for me. Challenging time for me because I had never been really into tech like that. Yeah, I used to do one or two designs and all that. But now when I joined the school, I discovered that I couldn't really sleep because there'll be assignments. It was very challenging. It was very, very challenging, but it built me up. It built me up in such a way that even before I finished my design school, I was posting stuff online. And then when I post, people say, I like this, come and design this for me. I already started having money and started getting a job, even at the time when I was still in the school. So I didn't have any issues with, oh, I don't have money, or, oh, I don't have a job again. I knew that even with the skill I was learning already, I was engaged in doing stuff for people online, and they'll send, now the world is digital, you don't need to be in a place to be able to do a job. I was working remotely, doing my assignments, attending my lectures and all that. So basically, as a graphic designer at the Code Tutor School, it really helped me a lot, because that COVID-19 time was a very depressing time for some people. A lot of people gave up. A lot of people gave up. I'm very, very happy that I joined the course. So basically, I advise everybody that does not have a job right now and is saying, oh, they have to go for some interviews or some, or they have to have studied one thing or the other, to go online, search for courses online. There are a lot of free courses online that you can now, learn as far as you have internet. Or in fact, I'm going too far. There's NerdzFactory, Code Tutor School. Join the Code Tutor Design School. There are a lot of things and a lot of opportunities there for you to become something in life. You don't need to just stay at home saying I'm jobless and all that. So basically, that was how I started my career in tech.
Okay, thank you for sharing that and for the feedback. So my next question is to Temitayo. I have someone who sent in a question here. It said, I'm currently volunteering in a small non-profit in my community. How can I transit from a volunteering role to a paid role?
So where you volunteering volunteering?
The person said in a small non-profit.
Where is the person volunteering?
The person said in a small non-profit.
Okay, so it's small non-profit, no problem. First of all, you being able to get a paid role in that non-profit really depends on their budget. Because, I mean, sorry to be blunt, but if they don't have a budget to bring on one extra person, you can be working on what and they still will not hire you. And it's not because you're not good. So let's just put that at the back of our minds. Now, if you now want, but if you feel that they do have the budget and they have space to hire somebody, then you just have to really put in your best. So you have to make yourself, I know the people say that nobody's indispensable, but for the lack of better words, indispensable, make yourself valuable, understand the industry, come up with ideas, come up with solutions. Like, whenever you're in meetings, speak up, ensure that you're visible, and then just generally just add value. But while no experience is lost, I hope that the nonprofit you have volunteered for actually does have a budget. And also, if they have roles that come up, apply for them as well. And also leverage relationships with the HR, leverage relationships with the guys at the top, leverage relationships with the owner or the CEO as well. And even if they're not able to hire you for whatever reason, they could always, through networking, they could always, refer you to another organization that is possibly hiring. But you being hired is heavily dependent on whether they have a budget.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Temitayo. So I would ask a question that is close to it, and I'll ask Oluwase. So this person just asked that, how do they convert a volunteering opportunity? How do they get a paid opportunity? Is volunteering a good idea in the first place? And because, again, you just hear volunteering, and in some cases, it seems to have been bastardized. And in the current reality of a lot of young people, which is they don't have a lot of cash, they don't have a lot of money, is it a wise decision to go work for free? And if they're working for free, how should they be going about it such that at the end of the day, it will still count for something for them, and it will be strategic enough to lead to a bigger opportunity? Toluwase.
Okay, so thanks a whole lot, Ade. I mean, and trust me, this question is very, very strategic, and is I mean, the question is, strategic. Now, it's strategic because a lot of people have bastardized the whole idea of volunteering. Like, I even mean from the employer's point of view, right? A lot of people have bastardized it. So a lot of employers want to, they really want to hire people with the intention of not paying them, right? So even like Timothy was asking earlier, some people have the budgets. They still would decide to work with volunteers rather than hire people because they know people are hungry to gain experience, right? So I've now said to people in recent time, volunteering is amazing. Yes, learn to volunteer. Now, okay, no, so I take that back. Now, because our academic system did not afford us that hands-on opportunity to gain work experience, and we are unsure of what to do a lot of times when we get, even those who do IT, most of the time when they do IT, it's food they are going to buy while on IT, right? I mean, I would have loved to ask if that is true or it's true, but I know it's true, right?
I feel attacked.
Well, I mean, so it's food a lot of people go to buy, right? So now you coming out of school, not having that much experience, I say to a lot of people, even the NYSC days, right? Leverage your NYSC days, or just immediately after NYSC, your first shot at getting a job. If you can't get a job in first 2 months, go volunteer in the field that you want to. Now, this is how you go about it. Ensure it is not just a random kind of volunteering. it's a volunteering role in that line that you intend to build a career. Say you want to build a career as a product manager. Go volunteer to work in the product design department, shadowing the person that's currently doing product design for that company. By the time you leave that company in 3 months, right, you're able to say that, oh, I have learned this. So if you can add it to your CV as a product design intern, which could be an entry point for you to come in. Now, that's one. The second way is you probably want to then open your hands wide and say, I have 3 months to offer. I have 3 months to give. I want to volunteer with 2 companies, right? And you say to them, see, can I work remote? If they say work remote, this week, you work Monday, Wednesday, Friday with one, you work Thursday. It will be a lot of work, but you know what you want to gain from all of this, right? Now, I say to people, as you are volunteering, ask them, will stipend be available? If they say no, but you know you can still gain experience, stay with them, learn. Now, I said this, we pay to learn in school for 4 years. We still come out unprepared for jobs. Taking another 3 months to learn rigorously so that you can build a profile from it would not hurt you. So if they don't offer stipend, yes, you can. But when you're, yes, so you can jump on it. But when you are doing this, ensure that you can manage your time and where you're volunteering. Secondly, where you're volunteering is not a toxic environment. I've seen a lot of people who go to volunteer, they are worse coming out of it than where they were going inside. Because it was a toxic environment, they kept going to buy food. And in fact, by the time they were leaving the volunteering role, they are unsure of themselves, right? Ensure it's a productive place. You're not going to buy food. You're being productive in 2 weeks. If you see that you're not being productive in that place, tell them, please, I'm sorry, I would like to leave now, right? Don't foriti. I mean, I don't know if we all understand Yoruba, but yeah.
We don't all understand. Please,
well,
what does that
keep
mean?
managing. Don't keep managing, right? Because you are here to learn. Like, see, that 3 months post NYC post graduation that you're dedicating to volunteering. Yes, I'm always very open to tell my story. I got out of school and I couldn't find a job. In fact, let me not discourage you, but my class of degree would not allow me find a job, right? I think I graduated with a 3rd class or a pass. I'm not sure. But I know that I can deliver value. So I started writing to organizations and tell them, I can lead, I can do sales for you. I can help you redesign your products. They'll say, for how much? I'll say for nothing. And I'll go in there, do all of my magic. I mean, I brought him from ISEC, do all of my magic. In the first month, sales will skyrocket. In the second month, sales will skyrocket. In the third month, see, diminishing return. Before it starts to diminish, I'll tell them, now I would like to leave, and they will give me something. You know what? I kept adding all of those to my profile for me to be able to get something concrete, right? And they were all volunteering roles. Yeah. So yeah, volunteering is good, but you must have a goal when you're going to volunteer. You must have a target in mind, and you must have a timeline. I don't want to hear you volunteering for 8 months, for 1 year. I mean, that would be so unfair to yourself. Have a goal, have a set plan, and have a timeline as you go to volunteer.
Okay, thank you very much for that. There's another question. I'll come back to you. There is another question specifically for Tolu, but I'll take that after this question that is going to take time. So I have a question which says, as a young lady who wants to branch into technology, what are the steps to take? Where do I start from? How do I go about it?
Okay, so I think the first step would be to identify what part of technology you want to go into. So, is it project development? Is it UX? Is it software testing, software development? I mean, what do you want to do in the technology space? And then I'd also identified the skills that you need to get into that space, and also the companies that you'd like to work for as well. So once you've identified that, if you don't have the skills, definitely work on getting those skills. If you need to get certifications, get the necessary certifications and all of that. And then, while you are applying to the roles that are interesting for you, you could also do some volunteer work that would help you boost your experience, and then also network a lot. And and that, also be open to working for free. And then another thing I would say that is also very important is that when you're looking for the role that you want, you need to keep the end goal in mind. The end goal in mind being that you want to be the best at a particular thing in this industry. And so while you are applying for jobs, please, I know the economy is hard, but try not to look at the naira and kobo that you're being offered, but focus on the experience that you are about to get. Because eventually, with the experience that you have, you'll be able to command whatever amount you want. So the money, put that aside for now. I always tell people that for the first 10 years of your career, money should not even be something that would come into. Yes, I said 10 years. I walked my talk. Thank you very much. It shouldn't be something, a deciding factor. Like I said, I understand that the economy is hard. Maybe it was easier for me then, but I'm just now at a point where, I tell employers that, look, if you're not going to pay me this, I'm not even going to bother having a conversation with you. So, but you have to build that experience and that technical expertise first before you can start requesting for a certain amount of money. But like I said, focus on building your skills, focus on gaining the experience, focus on networking as well. And then also, don't limit yourself to the Nigerian environment. There's a lot of remote work that's available out there, especially for people in technology. I know somebody that shuttles between the US and Nigeria because he does a lot of remote work. So he pretty much goes everywhere around the world. So wherever he feels like working from, he packs his bag, goes and continues his work there. So that opportunity is also available for you as well. And try as much as possible to get internationally certified certifications, because you don't know tomorrow, you don't know where you're going to find yourself. And that's it really.
Thank you very much for doing justice to that question, Taya. Next question, someone specifically has a question for you, Tolu. He said, my question is going to Mr. Oluwasefunmi. What do you do when you don't have enough experience for the job you're applying for? I mean, not just a volunteering role, but a job role that requires years of hands-on experience. Did you get that?
Yeah, yeah, perfectly. So this is a bit tough, right? And because things are getting a lot more competitive every day, right? So you're applying for a job that you don't have so much of hands-on experience. The honest truth, right, that I will say to you is that you should start building those years of experience, because somebody somewhere is seated and has that experience, right? Somebody has also applied for that same job and the person has that experience. So you don't having that experience, I mean, sitting here as a recruiter, I'm like, no. So take, for example, so before now, I used to accelerate talent for Bank of America. And at a particular year, Bank of America requires people who understand and know how to write Python, right? If you write JavaScript, write so many other, you don't do Python, right? You still cannot get in that particular year. Maybe you wait till next year. Now, this is what you do, straight. Start from where you notice that you don't have hands-on experience, start to find how to build it. And how to build it is either you volunteer or you intern with people. And like Taya have said, see, people might not be very open to tell you, but everyone had at some point in their life taken is a huge sacrifice for their career. Like all of us, so many of us have taken very huge sacrifices for our careers. So you probably want to then start to intern somewhere, not focusing on the money, but focusing a bit more on what you are building, right? So if, take for example, what they are looking out for is someone with 3 years of experience, right? If you have 1 year of experience and your deliverables and your result in that 1 year, right? So it can be quantified as though it's 3 years. Anybody will hire you over. So take, for example, an investment banker, or take, for example, okay, so because we're here for techies, let me focus on the tech side, right? So say a developer who has worked on projects, you volunteered on projects for KPMG, you worked at Andela, you've interned at Andela, and you've worked on some international project within 1 year, and you're applying for the same job with someone who has just had like 1 year of IT experience with mutual benefits. Now, sorry I'm mentioning names. I'm hoping this will not go outside of this space so that they don't come back and say we're not giving you jobs. Okay, so now that your 1 year of experience with all of this brand is huge, and the volume of experience you must have gotten on all those projects is your exposure, right? Your exposure is way beyond that of that person who has 3 years of experience on one job, right? So build a substantial level of years of experience on that career path, and then learn how to amplify it so well that it covers the year, it covers for the years that you have not, that you have not worked on the job. I don't know if that's clear, or if you understand that. So I'll give you a typical example of myself, right? Of myself. So when I was going to start HR, right? When I was going to start HR, I told I was interning with GSK, right? And the question was, so have you done this HR thing before? Like, yes, I did this while I was in school in ISEC. And I outlined all of the things I did in ISEC. I did people management. I did talent recruitment. I did onboarding and selection. I did compensation and benefits. I did training and development. And I can do all of these things well, right? So I amplified and itemized all of the things that I've done, and I can do it here with you too, right? So, and I was obviously given the offer. And funny enough, I probably, I didn't take the offer actually. But yeah, but then I was made an offer that I eventually turned down, for something a bit bigger. Yeah, so yeah, you actually can find like the best way to amplify, but find somehow to try to get some reasonable years of experience on it. Nobody will give their job to someone who will just come and gamble with it. I must be honest with you.
Okay, Oluwasefunmi, thank you very much for that, Oluwasefunmi. Yes, so next question here, I'll direct it to Oluwasefunmi Fadahun. The person, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. So someone asked the question that how can they branch into a technology career with a linguistic and language background? And I know that Shefumi seems to be in the perfect position to be able to answer that particular question. So Shefumi, you have the floor.
Okay, so linguistics and language background automatically gives you skills like analytical skills. Now, if it's the linguistics that I studied, because for me, I think it gave me an analytical skills, problem skills, project management skills. It also kind of gave you a design thinking skill, because then when you want to think about morphology of a Caucasian language and you're trying to remember all the glottal sounds or thinking about how sounds come to being, that skill is something that you get from that place, and it is relevant in technology world. Now, the question is there an opportunity for you, or you want to seek out opportunities? So, for example, I have a friend that was not a programmer, but there was an opportunity in an IT company. He went for the interview. No, he got the interview date. In 2 weeks, he was in his house learning coding for the every day. After he got the job, he begged them for 1 month resumption. He resumed to school and was coding for the next 1 month. By the time he resumed, of course, everything he said in the interview seemed like it was true. So if there's an opportunity for you, you can plug into the opportunity, because like I said, tech is broad. You can go and spend 5 months now learning software engineering, and the only opportunities you'll be seeing is application development. And they don't need a software engineer, or they don't need a backend person for it, or they don't need a coder for it, or do you get? So if there's an opportunity that you are seeing, so maybe you go online, look at the kind of companies that have opportunities out there. You see you have your first contact or second contact on LinkedIn or something like that. You see that there's a consistency in this role being recruited for, or you've heard that there's a role that somebody would put up very soon. You can tailor the skill you want to learn towards that. Technology is about skills. Technology is not about any other thing. It's just skills. So you can tailor yourself towards that. Now, if there's no opportunity yet, you've not found one, you've not been able to define one or research one, just want to go into the tech world, what you then do is, what are the best jobs or most popular careers that you can find? So, for example, if you are planning to stay back in Nigeria, I'm assuming it's Nigeria or Ghana, wherever your country is, do that research and you find the most popular ones. Then you define your skill in the most popular ones. You know what he said about the Python thing now? Whoever was smart enough to learn Python and got into that job, doesn't mean that you stay in that job and you don't look for other extra hours to learn C++ or Java or R. Because there was a time too that there were some companies that worked basically only on R or work basically on Java. And if it's not Java, they are not hiring you. Do you understand? So do the first research of what are the most popular jobs. If there are 100 jobs out today from IT, 80 something out of the 100 jobs is at those particular roles. Then you start building your skill in that area. So for example, I think application development has become a very key thing. Web-based or converting to a software, application development is really becoming a thing in the Africa space. I also think that using data, so data science, artificial intelligence, data management, there's this other one, then careers around cloud. Careers around cloud are also quite in the market now. Now, outside of these general technical ones, there are also skills like UX UI has become a thing. The moment product became a thing, UX UI became a thing. So UX UI, web design can never go out of place. Just like you have to keep upgrading to your levels of web design. Graphic design will never go out of place because graphic design is consumer led. So you have general graphic design, you have motion graphics, UX UI can come under it, you have video manipulation, all of that come under graphic design. And however, for graphic design, you what's it called? You feed into the guys in entertainment and in creative world. For the other ones, you might still be able to feed within the guys in the technology world. So that is how you define where you find yourself. However, linguistics, so Yoruba or CRK, what are the weird courses we studied in school? I don't even remember any longer. Biology, chemistry, fishery, history, whatever. Moving to technology is two things: skill, the willingness to learn, and forget that they are using you. I'm an intern, they are telling me to stay back to work. That one cannot happen if you want to switch to IT. In switching to IT, you will tell them to use you. If they don't use you, you will go and meet them. They are not using you because you have to learn on the job. Like you will ask questions, and don't ask questions and annoying with everybody will run away from that girl or that guy. He's coming to ask questions. But you have to apply yourself. That's what I mean by use. You have to apply. I mean, if you are doing a switch, because the thing about technology is because it's fast moving. So you can't be in a technology space and you want to keep doing, I want to learn on the job. Like, give me opportunity to learn. People have moved. Like, while you are there, somebody has spent every Saturday and Sunday in some classes and has moved. Like, The person within 3 months already speaking things that you cannot speak, and you are there, say, give me opportunity. IT is for the takers. So if you are not ready, so there is the learning the skill, but there's an attitude that comes with IT and career shifts. Let me tell you something that happened to me at Oracle. Please, nobody, you can say it outside the success story. When I joined Oracle, I didn't know what Oracle was into. I won't lie to you. So I had applied for Oracle Academy Programs Manager. I applied for Oracle Academy Programs Manager. So I only Googled Oracle Academy. I didn't Google Oracle as a company. So I got to the interview and I smashed everything as per Oracle Academy. I resumed and oh my God, ERP, CRM, HCM, CCI, short code is annoying. Like, what are you guys saying? What is HDs? What is APP? What is AP? Everything was confusing for me. So I switched. When I realized that in 1 week, everybody is saying what I don't understand. So let me tell you, I used to go for meetings and I would be jotting. So there was a meeting I went with a manager and I realized that they were not jotting, but me, so every meeting I use as a learning process. So when I'm in a meeting and I let them talk, they were talking technology, you have to use our technology to build this, that, then there was no cloud. So it was always hardware, applications, and technology. That's what was being sold everywhere. So, and then luckily for us at Oracle, we talk about competition too. So I learned about, Assign Cisco, Microsoft, all the likes. I started finding out what those ones have, where we have stuff, right? My assignments, it's not anybody's assignment. So I remember I went for that meeting with my manager and told other people, and nobody was writing. For me, I was writing. So after the meeting, he just said, for me, you send the minutes, Abby. I'm like, I wasn't writing minutes of the meeting. Oh. The things you were selling to the client about Oracle is me, I was jotting down to learn about Oracle. That was, I applied, that was how I was learning. Every meeting was a learning process for me. So because somebody wants to say they want to show presentation about Oracle, I'm jotting down what they're talking about my company for me. So much that within 3 months that I joined Oracle, a lot of people did not believe that I was a graduate consultant. I remember there was literally an argument and I was just smiling. Like I went to speak to a senior person about a program I was running, and then one of our guys came in from different countries and then they asked me to go out with them on, because they always do that when people come out, when our colleagues travel down to Nigeria, we always take them out. So they're like, graduate consultants, Shefumi, and call myself and one other graduate consultant, we should go out together to, talk with the person, help the person see Lagos. So during dinner, right, I was talking and they were talking, but they was telling me I could pitch in to talk that, that these are technology that, what can we do with the developers? I was really, really engaging. So after that meeting, I think the guy assumed that I wasn't a graduate consultant, right? So they were now trying to tell him that, I'm a graduate consultant. He didn't believe. They had to call me that, okay, Shefumi, are you a graduate? I'm like, yes. He was like, how are you a graduate consultant? When did you resume? I said October. I'm like, are you joking? I heard it. So after the skill, you have to apply yourself, because in this technology, the way it's fast moving, you can't even join an IT company and say, but when you hired me to do programming. Now you're telling me to do cloud. It's not possible. As the company is switching, you said be switching. So that's the way it is. So for me, forget your CRK background or linguistics or whatever. There are some skills that are ingrained in you because of those courses. And like I said, if you study the kind of business I studied, I went to OAU. Analytical skills, problem skills, research skills is already part of linguistics for us. So coming on board, learn the skill needed part-time, and please apply yourself. Apply yourself. That's all for me.
Great, Shefumi, thank you for doing justice to that question. Thank you. I have another question here that this person has been persistent. Says, I have a question about, and I'll direct it to Anaka Gabriel. He says, I have a question about having multiple IT skills. I'm a student of the University of Ibadan, and I've been exposed to opportunities to learn a lot of IT skills. I started out as a graphics designer. I got into social media management because it involves a lot of designs. And I'm getting very involved in UI UX design too. I'm very passionate about designs. Does putting all of this on my LinkedIn profile or CV discourage employers or encourage employers? So first, I would like to get your perspective about this, Anaka, before I move to the other members of the panel.
Okay, well, basically, I feel you should focus on one thing. You shouldn't put too many things on your CV in such a way that would drive employers. You're like a jack of all trades and master of none, except they are closely related to each other. Well, having so many IT skills, it's not really a bad thing, but you need to focus on one. I think you say you are good with graphics design, and then you are also good with UI UX. I think you should focus on the graphics design part of your tech skills, and then read more or then delve more into the UI UX because it's related to graphic design. But now, if you now say, okay, because I'm looking for a job, I'm going to put data science, I'm going to put Java, I'm going to put Oracle, I'm going to put this. Employers will be confused. They'll be like, what are you doing? What is your core specialization? What do you know how to do best? So I think you should focus on those courses or those skills that are closely related to each other, like graphics design, UI, UX, front-end development, and all that. Even the marketing skills you talked about, I think you should include that. Digital marketing is part of graphic design and all that. So I think you should include that in your focus. I think that's all I have to say for now.
Okay, thank you very much, Anaka. Tolu, the recruiter, what's your advice for this person? Hello, Tolu.
Oh yeah, so I am here. So for this person, right? Okay, so allow me like 1 minute to even respond to, to give like an input to what Shefumi said earlier.
Okay, great.
I know someone who wanted to be in tech and did not get an opportunity into tech, did not understand, found it very difficult understanding what tech was, right? So instead, the person studied, well, I think half of university studied linguistics these days. The volume of people who study linguistics are more than people who studied other courses, right? So the person studied linguistics with my younger sister. And so after, not understanding what they do in tech, she took up a sales role in a tech organization and was forced to start selling technology. In the process, she started learning the terminologies like Shefumi, learned terminologies, hung around the techies a little longer. And in no time, she started picking up these skills, started working around these things. And before you know it, she understood where she wanted to be, and she started doing the thing that she wanted to do, right? Now, she had two options. She would have been friends to techies, right? Friends to techies, they'll go take her out, they will play, and she might not learn so much, right? But then she decided to take a job that everybody will say, no, sales. No, I don't want to do sales. But she had to do sales to sell the technology, right? So then you can, I don't think any other person have better knowledge of a product like the salespeople, because you have to know it in and out, right? So that could be a way for you to transition into tech, right? Stay around it. Now for this person, I like you. You are like that person that was given 5 talents. You don't want to bury anyone. It's good, because if you bury it, now the master can punish you. Like Anaka has mentioned, if they are related, yeah. So you can find a melting point for this. So if you do UI UX, right, it would not be a bad thing to say that, oh, you do UI UX with interest. So find the one that you want to sell the most. Find the one that will be in front. Find the one that will pay you the most, right? So graphic designer, or how much do you pay graphic designer? If you sense that people will start telling you, oh, take 20K or take 10K or ever do logo, let us give you 2K, and you know that 2K might go down well with you. Push forward the UI UX profile, right? And say that you also have skills in graphics design and social media content. Now, you might not be hired for the social media bit and for the graphic design bit, right? But the fact that you can wear all of these caps, you can give quality input. So you stand a higher chance over the person who has just UI UX skill, right? So it means that when we are seated in a meeting, you can say to the social media person, oh, maybe you do this, maybe you do that. Then, in fact, so we are hiring one person to do multiple, to give us multiple ideas and multiple concepts, right? So it won't be bad for you to mention it, but then find that one that will stay in front that you would promote, right? For other skills to now come behind it. Others would, they are enablers to the focal skill set that you're pushing.
Okay, thank you. Fantastic, Oluwasefunmi. Thank you very much. Just to react to that, I've always told one thing I usually tell students of our program is, and I remember telling Anaka said this is, whatever skill you're learning, whatever skill you have is your inroad into an organization. So for instance, graphic design is your, if you're learning graphic design, yeah, it's fine if graphic design is your inroad into the organization. But eventually, if you get into the organization, every other skill that you have, that you bring to the table, gives you relevance in the organization. Because at the end of the day, it enhances your problem-solving skills. So just take notes, but don't look scattered. Don't say you can be a jack of all trades. Position yourself properly. And eventually, all the other skills that you have, let it speak for you. Let it single you out when you get the opportunity that you're looking for. So Mike, the planning team, they're telling me that I have less than 10 minutes to leave, to get out of this place. So I'll be taking a word from everybody, and I'll start from Shefumi. What is the biggest career advice that you ever got?
Okay, so my biggest career advice, plenty people advised me. That's a lot.
So which one are you? Which one would you tell? Which one would you recommend to?
I don't know who the people on this call are. So they'll go and tell my other mentors that I did not pick their own advice. So let me just So I think for me, the biggest career advice I got is not to tag myself so early to a career path. Now, you need to understand that is my own career advice. Some people, it benefited them that at year one, they already decided that I want to do HR, and that helped them to be more streamlined. But before I got into career, I wasn't sure what I wanted. At the end of my year one, I was sure that I was going to be a certified project manager working in different industries. But before my year one, I only knew that I had this skill, that skill. I like to plan, I like to put things together. And I realized that I'm not patient. I can't be customer care. I cannot be begging you to do what's good for your life. So I already figured out the things I'm not. Yes. But the things that I didn't have enough exposure to let me know these are the kind of job titles in the career space. So because that person saw that, the person told me to take there's this career assessment that I used to take in 2014 or 13. It was a very long exam, like crazy questions. But at the end of it, it will tell you where your strength lies and where your strength do not lie. I'm glad I took that career assessment test. It's very expensive too. I think it was about $100 or something back then. So I took it, and it was clear that customer care is not my line. And that time it was HR or customer care that was the in thing. So for me, the best advice I got was that don't tag yourself when you are not sure of this is most I must do. So I threw myself in my year one into everything. EA, project management, sales, secretary. I did everything in my year one. At the end of year one, I knew what I was going to be in my career. That was when I put a title to it. That was when I started getting certifications across that line. So that was my own best advice.
Okay. Thank you very much, Shefumi. So I'll take the same question. The same question I'll throw it towards Tim Tayo Fayom. What's the biggest career advice you ever got, and that you would like to also extend to our participants today?
Okay, so I think the biggest career advice I ever got was that whenever any opportunity comes, don't say no. So even if you think you don't have the skills, or you can't do it, or it's too small, too big, whatever, because you never know where certain roads would lead you. So, for example, I would never have thought that starting my role in Siemens as a technical assistant would eventually lead me back to having like a global position in strategy. And then also, I would also say be flexible as well. And also just continue to build yourself, be flexible, be inquisitive, and don't say no, have an open mind. I think that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Be flexible, have an open mind. Yeah, very, very insightful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Temitaya. Anaka, what's the biggest career advice that you got and that you like to extend to participants of our program?
Okay, the biggest career advice I've ever had was from my present boss, because she's always showing me new things of doing things that I already knew how to do before. So I'll not say, oh, why can't we do it? Okay, I already know how to do it, but this is the way I do it. So she called me one day and said, Anaka, when you are in a new place, unlearn everything you've ever known and learn new things according to the standards of the organization you are in. Because if she says you can get 2 plus 2 can give you 4, I'll not say, okay, yeah, but this how I do my own, 3 plus 1 is also 4. So one day she called me and told me, Anaka, if you get to a new place, unlearn everything you've ever learned and stick to the standards of the new place. And it got here till today, that thing is in my head. So if you find yourself anywhere, just make sure that you calm your head down and learn new things. Don't know too much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Anaka. Toluwase, what was the biggest career advice you ever got and that you would like to extend to our participants today?
Oh, okay. I mean, so I'm not sure if this is the biggest, and why I'm not sure if this is the biggest is because it's about the biggest for me, and that is you have to keep learning, right? So learning is not you just reading. Learning is not you just trying to, we're trying to study or trying to research. No, ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. Like keep asking. Like Shifu mentioned earlier, ask questions. Very productive question. Everywhere. So wherever you find yourself, always learn to ask questions and learn as much as you can learn, right? People would say that, oh, master. So I think that's what people call me around a bit more, and that's because I've learned to be versatile. So from a very, very tender age and from the start of my career, I learned to do everything, right? So I use my so I studied accounting. I'm currently in HR. I have once done construction. So a lot of times when I am analyzing things in training, I use my construction experience to explain things to people in HR for them to be able to learn, right? So be very open to learning. If you put water in here and you don't pour the water away, right? And you keep adding water to it for 10 years, what will happen is the water in here will get bad, right? But then if you allow the water go out and you allow fresh water come in, the water will remain relevant, the container will still be good, and the water will be useful. So always keep learning, be very open to learning, allow new things come into you, give out to people. And the more you also give, as you grow up in your career, the more you're able to build influence, right? So not everybody every time, teach me, teach me, teach me. No. Also be ready to be willing to also give and teach some other people. Thank you so much. I hope this is helpful.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Oluwasefunmi. A very big thank you to every of our panelists, Shefunmi, Dojai, Anaka, and Gabriel, Temitayo Fayomi, and Toluwase Olaniyan. A very big thank you to you. Thank you for sharing, and for sharing from your heart. And thank you everyone for joining and for all those who sent in their questions. Tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting. And tomorrow is talking about building the technology business from the scratch. So if you don't have a huge capital, tomorrow you would learn from people who have started their own technology business with very, very few resources. And also, so just like Anaka mentioned, we have a program that is currently enrolling candidates that would be starting at next in a couple of weeks. And the design school program, it's a life changer. And if you're looking to start in technology and you don't even know where you should start from, I would encourage you, visit Design UIO. My colleagues will paste it on the chat, and to get started, you would not regret that you did join. It's been really great being your moderator for this particular session. I would like to hand over back to my colleague, Micah, as the round of the session for today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sending in your question. And once again, to our panelists, a very big thank you to you for making our time to join us.
Wow. I mean, that was really, really awesome and really mind-blowing. I mean, this is a master class, like really, you know. I'm sure that it delivered. I mean, all our panelists, they delivered even beyond what a lot of us expected, you know. But I mean, like I told you earlier at the beginning, you are in for a great time, and I'm sure that you learned. Like, if you learned something, if you got anything from anything our panelists said, just let me know in the chat section. We're rounding up very soon, rounding up in the next 4 minutes. Let me see if you got anything, anything at all. Let me know. Okay, keep learning. I mean, that's very, very important. Wow, is it only one person or 2 people? If you got anything, okay, awesome. IT is for the taker. Yes, it is. Never say no to any opportunity. Yes, it's all a learning phase. It's all learning. Amazing, right? I mean, and tomorrow promises to even be greater. You know, we're talking about money. You know, more money. So tomorrow we're talking about starting a tech business, like really starting a tech business. So you have an idea, you have a tech idea, you want to get started on it, just come. Tomorrow is for you. And you that you're here, right? Like you've learned today, there is no knowledge that is wasted. Keep learning, learn as much as you can. Okay, so tomorrow is your day, right? And it's going to be the apex, like. So, I mean, like I said earlier, the program is a 2-day program. So coming tomorrow, just come in early. We start by 1 p.m. Immediately, it's 1 p.m. We're getting started. We have a high profile speakers, business people that are coming to speak to you tomorrow. So looking forward to see you all. You can also share the Zoom link. and also the link to the the YouTube link or the Zoom link. Just share it. Someone is going to post the link to the design school program in case you're interested in getting started. Okay, it's posted there already, so you can just check it out and enroll for the program. That's a good place to start. Finally, thank you so much, all our panelists, Mr. Toluwase, everybody, Anaka and Gabriel, Madam Shefumi, everybody, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And we've really learned so much. Thank you so much. All right, thank you, everyone. This is Mike Atimlane signing out. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow and see you in your tech fees cashing in money. All right, have a great evening, everyone. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
See you tomorrow. I mean, bye and see you tomorrow, right? So bye and see you tomorrow, everyone. All right. Thank you, everyone.